Hi guys, it's Christian here and welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for being here. Today we're going to do a pick a deck reading. So it doesn't matter what your sign is. Whatever sign you are, any of the 12, you're going to use your intuition and pick one of these decks, and that's where we're going to get the reading from. Now, I am a little late with this with the reading for this week, so it is going to apply from Sunday the 22nd all the way to, I'm sorry, Monday. Was it Monday? I think it's Monday. Monday until Sunday, or Sunday to Monday. What was the 22nd? Okay, look, so just look at your calendar. Just say this week, all right? So this reading will apply for this week. Time is fluid anyway, so I think the day or so doesn't really impact what we're reading here anyway. But yeah, this is just going to be a pick a deck reading. You use your intuition and pick whichever deck you feel like there's a message in. You can pick more than one, or you can pick all three if you want to. I'm just going to tell you the names of them. This is a new deck that I have called Tarot for Kids by Teresa Reed, which she has like this, I think, yeah, she has this podcast that I've been listening to for a while, but I just really, even though it's like a kids tarot deck, it's meant for kids, I just love the imagery on it, and I haven't bought a tarot deck in a long time, so that's my newest deck. And then we have here, of course, if you see me read before, the Seers Tarot, use that one. And then we have the Hanson robbers here, which is one of my favorite ones. It's kind of like a fairy tale kind of deck. This one is kind of modern, and this one has kind of light images, kind of like these right here. So use your intuition to pick the deck that you want. You can even pause the video if you need to pause it, just to take a moment to be able to do that, and then we'll get into it. I'll put the timestamps below so you guys can be able to pick which the timestamp of the deck and go straight to that reading. Keep in mind that all readings can't possibly work for every single, you're fit for every single person. So take what resonates and leave behind what does not. And also too, I just want to thank you guys just for being so supportive of my channel. I reached 600 followers. So that to me, that's our subscribers. So to me, that's big. I know other people have like way more, but to me, I'm like, whoa, just to have that many within, I've only been doing YouTube for like maybe 2 years, I think. And I haven't been super consistent. So that makes me still feel good that people believe in, or like my messages enough to where they're subscribing, especially you cancers out there. You guys have really kind of got the ball back rolling on my whole YouTube thing, so I appreciate it. Also too, if you're a cancer, you still can participate in this reading here, but by the time that I post this video, there will be a reading up for for cancers, which if you've been following my channel so far, you know that every week I've been giving those messages, but I've just been a little behind. I recorded it, I just don't have it uploaded yet, but it'll be up by the time you hear this one or see this one, so you definitely can check that one out as well. And I think that this week we're going to do an Aquarius one too, so I have a request for that, so I want to make sure that I get that Aquarius reading out to my wonderful subscriber that has requested that for me. So we're going to go ahead and start with pile 1, which is going to be, and let me make sure I put the cards in the right order because I mixed up these decks the last time I did this reading, so let's not mix them up this time. And I think maybe I skipped last week as well too. So if I've been skipping on readings, I'm sorry guys. I've returned back to my job, my regular job. So it's kind of been a little bit, I've been kind of getting really acclimated and trying to see how, my YouTube and all of those things, and my tarot practice, how I can fit all of that into, being back at work. So if I'm behind, my apologies. You guys know I've been working on consistency with you all. So definitely want to get back in that space very soon. So here we are with another reading. We're gonna shuffle one more time, and these are pretty big cards. As you can see, I'm kind of having a hard time shuffling them, but I love them. So yeah, that's a better way to shuffle. So we're gonna cut the deck here for group 1. All right, let's see here. And keep in mind, I don't read reversals unless I feel led to, but usually I'm going to account for if I feel like there are negative attributes to the card, or that it's the reverse energy, or blocked energy, I'll let you guys know, okay? So we're going to get messages for group 1 here, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull 3 cards like we always do. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to take a look at the bottom of the deck, which is going to be the overarching theme of energy. Now, keep in mind that this energy can go beyond the time span of this week. This can be something that you're dealing with that's kind of long term. It can be something that goes on for months, or it could even be years, or an ongoing situation. So just keep that in mind. Here, bottom of the deck. And I knew it's funny because when I pulled these cards out, this was the first card that I pulled out. Some of you guys could be a water sign here. We can have Scorpio here, also Pisces or Cancer, but a lot of you guys are probably can't. I feel like maybe some of you are Cancer probably watching this. Like you're like, I'm going to get a second reading. Okay, I'm going to get both. No, but this talks about our level of sensitivity, and we're learning about sensitivity. More importantly, this is a time where we're learning about compassion for others. Okay, and I feel like what this is kind of one thing that we're kind of transitioning from. We're transitioning out of Scorpio season, so this could kind of have a little indication of this. Or Scorpio season, and I just kind of did a Facebook Live about this, and I really should start posting that stuff on my YouTube channel as well, which we'll get around to that eventually. But Scorpio is a sign where we go down into the depths of our emotional body, our emotional energy, emotional space, our psyche, and we come back up with a new understanding of life. So I'm kind of seeing this shell kind of opening up. So some of you guys may kind of be feeling like this release or like a lightness to life again, okay? Or even if there are things that are going on that are kind of deep, you're finally, it's like you're getting your head above water. You're kind of feeling here, feeling that here. For some of you, this could be you're just feeling lovey-dovey. You're just feeling a very, very loving space. I feel like you're being open and receptive to other people, open to differences of other people. And if you're not, this is kind of the, saying that we should probably try to get into this energy here. One thing about Sag season, which we've just kind of gone into at the beginning of this week, or maybe the end of last week. I'm bad with my dates. I'm sorry, guys. But it brings optimism to us after we've taken this deep dive. So I kind of feel like this. You could be feeling that like, oh, wow, I feel so light now. Like something could have ended, or a situation could have ended, or you could have found I think maybe for some of you, what it is with the King of Cups is you're making peace with the situation, but not because like a person apologized or a person came and fixed it. It's because of the way that you're looking at the situation. When you look at situations with compassion, and have compassion for other people, it makes you less likely to point fingers or to say you're right and I'm wrong. And it doesn't absolve me and my words. It doesn't take away anything that anyone did to you, especially, it doesn't make it like it's just erased, but there's a certain level of forgiveness here. And I don't think that, how people always say forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for yourself. This is where I feel like once you open up to that idea, it makes you care more. I'm not saying be selfish, but you care more about not releasing this than you care more about releasing this than you do about holding on to it for yourself. So maybe it's something that could have been drawing you down and keeping you down and keeping you sad. But I feel like you're, and if you've been trying to push against the situation, just being mad or resentful or just kind of stuck in a depression or stuck kind of sad. I feel like some of you, when you do that, I'm not going to say like, nothing happens, but nothing becomes of it, especially if a person that has wronged you is just living their regular on life, or if you've been ghosted or if they just moved on. It does nothing for you to stay stuck in that energy, especially if that person has moved on with their lives, even if they were the one that wronged you and then they moved on and, maybe good things are happening for them. Maybe you're seeing that or something like that. But whenever you stop pushing against saying that, what should happen to another person based on how they treated you, I promise you, once you make that up and just say that's the way that they treated me was from their level of understanding, and that is they have their right to love people the way that they want to love people, even if it is trash, even if it is in our view is trash. here's the caveat to that though. We don't have to accept it. So yeah, you can be that kind of person. I'm not going to judge you for it, but I'm also not going to tolerate it either. So this is where we are taking care of ourselves emotionally. And when we're in a king state with the King of Cups, we're doing it outwardly. So we're making decisions, we're making choices, we're making moves. It's not just thinking about it internally. Now we're ready to make the actions that it takes to be able to take ourselves out of that space here. So here we go. Here we have the judgment card. So once after, you know what I was just saying, this is where we're no longer judging the situation, where we're seeing it from our side. I'm right, you're wrong, which Sag season to me has a lot to do with seeing the bigger picture, and you kind of see how this angel is up here on at the top of the mountain. You can look down and you can see things for what they really are, what they really were. And with the judgment card, we kind of get a glimpse of the role that we played. It's like I always say it's like a stage play. You know, you have a villain, you have a hero, but at the end everybody takes the bow together and they understood their roles, and then they go on to play other roles. So here is where we're coming to this understanding, and then you got the world card next. So yeah, you're closing out a chapter, and I kind of feel like whatever this watery depth was, we've come up to the surface of that now, and now we're ready to kind of go on a new journey, go on a new path, because the world card brings an end to kind of like an era. Then the next thing we have is the Lovers card, which here is the Best Friends card. Now you're ready to kind of meet people who are a little bit more emotionally mature, because the King of Cups is emotionally mature. I kind of feel like you're calling in people just from that, just from thinking that way alone. You start off with one person. It starts off with the person who probably hurt you the most, or the one that was the most acute. But then it's hard to leave away from thinking like that about people. So you start looking at everything and everybody with a different lens. It's not that you're being accepting of everybody and you're just letting everybody run over you, but you're not judging them for the way that they're acting. You're just deciding, you know what, I'm going to do something different. You're looking at the situation, instead of saying, I'm going to show them, I'm going to fix them, I'm going to wait on them to apologize or to do this. You're like, you know what, I'm going to take these steps and I'm going to look at this from a different perspective. And I feel like because of that, you're graduating. Here's the graduation here. Here's the Lovers card, and then you have the Six of Swords. So you see we're kind of moving into smoother sailing, moving into smooth water. And I think this is kind of, look here, the Eight of Coins here. So Eight of Coins talks a lot about self-improvement and working on ourselves. So the work that we do on ourselves. So I feel like what you're kind of saying now is, instead of trying to fix what is outward, when you see the reflection that's outside of yourself, what you're doing is you're taking that with the King of Cups and you're looking at it for yourself, and then you're making decisions within yourself to control the outer experience. And I kind of like that. What's after this? Okay, yeah. The Knight of Cups. So let me tell you, and the Queen of Cups. So look at this, y'all. Like this is like first of all, okay, Knight of Cups here. So now you're led by your heart, and I kind of feel like what it is that this is making you have a lot better selection of who you give yourself to. This is like the accountability here. So it's like, you know what, it's my responsibility. I'm responsible for my own emotions, and that's the maturity that's here with this. And then you have the Queen. So for those of you looking for love and relationships, when you have like the Lovers and then you have a set here, you have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, you're gonna meet somebody. You're going to meet somebody who's kind of there as well, because that's what you're prioritizing, and it's going to be a reflection back to you. You meet people like that. Not just romantic either, friendships, everything, because even though that's the Lovers card, it still said best friend. So those things are going to start mirroring back in your life. And then I know I said I wouldn't read reversals, but I think it's important for me to read this card in reverse, because it's discord. It's where that I'm right, you're wrong. And this is my everybody has their reasons card, but look at it being in reverse. So I think you're kind of moving away from that, okay? And it's going to help your confidence a lot with the Queen of Wands. So that was already long. You know I'm long. Y'all know I'm long-winded. All right, so King of Cups there. So let's see how it can be playing out in this week coming up. So you have the Six of Wands right there. So here we go with this victorious energy. Here we go with this, with being recognized, with being looked at. I think that people are going to notice it. So if you've been in like a funk or something like that, this week, you're going to see that people are kind of noticing it. And for some of you, you might be Sagittarius. I kind of feel it too. It could be your birthday, so happy birthday if that's you or something like that. But this is being recognized. This is being celebrated. And so here in the U.S., we're celebrating Thanksgiving. This could be like where your family like, oh, you look, something's different about you. You look something looks different. Also, just want to give a nod always to the Six of Wands, because it carries this wreath here. And this is the same wreath of the world card. So here it is where, and then we had the five, didn't we? We had the Five of Wands here. And then look, you've moved on past the Five of Wands. Now you're at the Six. You're looking forward. You're moving forward. Okay. So I kind of see that here. This could be some type of recognition coming in too. It could like I know we're talking about relationships and we're talking about it on a deeper level, but there could be some type of reward or some type of recognition coming in this week, or some type of gift, or some type of something honoring the space and the energy of where you are and the work that you've done. So it could be literal work, or it can be this internal work, all right, spiritual work, leveling up, because we did have the Eight of the Eight of Coins here, where you've been working really, really hard. So here is some type of reward coming in, and it could even be financial for you or something to do with work. I'm kind of feeling that. So that's something that may be coming in for you this week, group one. And let's see what we have as card two. So we have the Five of Swords here. So I'm gonna tell you what the Five of Swords is. The Five of Swords is this is definitely my card of right and wrong, right? This is the card of where I have to win. I need to win. I have to be right about this. So, and I'm not trying to say that this is you or that you are doing it for bad reasons. It's just that we, sometimes we want to even the score. So whenever someone does something to us, we kind of get into this mentality, well, it's not fair for them to be happy if they made me so sad. So there could be, I don't feel like this is actually you doing things to try to make another person sad or to bring another person down. It's not that you're doing it with action. When we have the Five of Swords, this is more like a thought. And I want you to understand that your thoughts become actions for that other person. So I have this saying sometimes that I say, it's like mind your energy. Because whenever you're putting that out into the universe for another person, not only do you open it, like it's almost like if you wanted trouble for someone else, well, that means that your mind, you're sending off a signal that has trouble. Yeah, you're sending it to someone else, but the universe is responding to trouble. So you may not even see that in that kind of way. You may see it like, oh, I'm just thinking badly. I want something bad to happen to them. And then this opens up the opening for bad things to happen to you as well. So this is where you're kind of, at some point, I don't know what it is that kind of made you let go or just release. The king, I think this is just like a deeper emotional understanding. So whatever this was, like if you're going through a depression, if you're going down into yourself, whatever you came back up, it called you to be a better version of yourself. So sometimes what I say with people like this type of situation is when you get that, it's almost like what I was saying, when you get that low down into something and there's no way to you have no way to release yourself from something, like your mind is obsessing over something, you can't stop thinking about a person, you can't stop thinking about a situation or what someone has done to you. I think that sometimes we get like this, when you're thinking that way, you start to, it turns into those things like depression. Because it brings your vibration down so low, because to think those things about another person, you have to lower your vibration. And I feel like the only way out of that hell, quote unquote, that hell, is when you rise above it, which you have the Judgment card right here, is where we're looking at things from a higher perspective. So this is kind of like tag team for you as on the micro level. Then we switch into Sag season, which Sag sees things from a soul level, and now you can see it as a bigger picture. So even if you just blame it on, okay, well, there's just something better and you haven't even figured it out, the fact that you step back enough from a situation to try to find your way out of it is what's giving you this victory over this kind of energy right here. Because this Five of Swords is kind of like that energy of it's where we're wanting, in this particular situation, where we're wanting somebody to get their just deserve. alerts, right? The judgment card is almost like the justice card, where the justice card is like the land of the law, right? I mean, the law of the law, the law of the land. So it's where, okay, if one person does this, well, this should happen to them. That's a level of understanding of, of how humans process what law is and karma. But when you're looking from a soul's perspective, everyone is sent here to have certain experiences, and we don't have any control over those things. And we can see it from that point of view, just like you're the bad guy, just like someone else is the bad guy in this movie. Even if we think that we're the greatest character and we're the hero, we're always going to be the bad guy in somebody else's movie. So like when I watch things like reality television, which I love, one person I can look at the show and say, I try to watch it unbiased. I really, really do. And for the most part, I am unbiased when I watch reality TV because it's so fun to watch it that way. But I notice how people will pick a villain. When you talk to friends and things, they pick, oh, this is the bad person, or this is the bad person. Well, when you look at things from a perspective of, I feel like, well, when they're watching the show, if it's someone that they deem as bad, like when the scenes come on, they're like, oh, I hate this and I don't like this and I don't like this part when they're coming on. But for me, not saying that I'm any better than anyone or anything like this, but I've kind of gotten to this point so where I watch it like that, I'm fully enjoying every moment of it because I'm seeing everybody for who they are and I'm not looking at them with judgment. I'm just watching them interact. So it's like a science project. Like I'm watching, like, oh, what are they going to do next? It's like, what is this person going to do next? So when you get into this space like this, it helps you to be able to enjoy life more because you're not so much concerned about the choices that other people are making, even if they did affect you in a negative way. You put you say, well, if a person was being selfish to me, well, I've learned how to be selfish with myself and not to be selfish in a way where you're mean or you're hurting other people. Maybe that's what prompted you to be this way, but you're conscious enough to be able to do it from a loving space, right? By giving to yourself first, not over giving or oversharing because you're on top of it now when you have the King of Cups energy here. So that's a good thing to do. So now you have the three of wands. So here is where we're looking forward to the future. We're looking forward to positivity. And I also feel, I like this feeling for you right here with the 6 of wands because there's like this, and also to connecting with Sagittarius, which Sagittarius is when we're in Sag season, we move from this depths, this being down, with the King of Cups into this freedom or this optimism or this faith in the future. And I kind of have a feeling that from this insight that you're getting, like I said, when you're not judgmental of the experience, when you don't look at life like it's happening to you, when you know that it's happening for you, you're able to gain the wisdom out of a situation, and then you're looking forward to new experiences and new opportunities. So this is a card where you're facing forward now, like you're moving on, and we don't exactly know what's gonna come in or when things are gonna come in, but this card to me speaks a lot about what we're doing in the interim. And if you're walking around with this positive attitude like this, and when these things come along, you're noticing this is outside of yourself now. Now you know that you have a choice to, am I going to put my energy into thinking that person is wrong and waiting on an apology, or am I just going to say, they're lost and those are their choices and I'll respect their choices even if they're not me, and I'm going to move on and find the people that do want to be around me, find the people that do support me, and I'm waiting on those people to come in with I'm not going to say expectations, but with positivity. Like I'm waiting on the future positively, not like, oh, no one's ever going to come, these friends aren't going to get here, I'll never get that job. It's like, no, I'm sure it's going to happen for me. I'm sure, what do I have to lose, So it's kind of like that kind of feeling coming in. I'm kind of getting with this 3 of wands, but this is something coming in. So, I'm talking about this on a more of a spiritual level, but this is something, this could be something coming in where you've done a lot of work, because we have the reward right here, and then we have the 3 of wands at the end here. And I'm not really reading these in any particular order. So this is where, if you've been expecting something can be coming in with the 6 of wands, because we have the world card, like, recognition, 3 of wands. We've done all the work. We've done everything that we need to do on our part. Now something is coming in. So it's kind of, to me, it's kind of connecting to what I was saying. All it takes is that one decision to think of things and like to come to that realization. All it takes is for you to do that with one traumatic situation, and then you never really forget about it makes you look at life differently completely. It changes you because you become accountable for yourself. And I'm just looking at the eagle here in the corner of the world card, because these represent the 4 fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio here. But it's just really making me focus on this eagle right now. So I'm just thinking that, like, yeah, a lot of you guys really for the past month, you probably really went deep down into something, or were really reflecting on something, the thing that you needed to reflect on the most. And I think that you're coming back persevering, and you're coming out of it transformed for sure. You're looking good. You're looking towards the future. You already see it, and you know that this is something that you can work with. And let me tell you something. This doesn't mean that every single time your mind is going to instantly say, oh, well, you know, no one's right or wrong and roses. No, you might still go back to thinking that. But now you have the skills to be able to challenge that within yourself. It may take some time. I'm not telling you to just force yourself to be over things, or just force yourself to be in this positive space. This is not what we're doing here. We want to see these cards outside of ourselves, so that it doesn't take over us and we get lost in it. And then we have to go all the way down, you know, and into a depression, or into, you know, a slump, to be able to get called back out. Because when we get here, this is where the soul is crying out. So it's like a desperation to kind of release ourselves from something. And I feel like our soul has to come and, you know, kind of come and rescue us out. So it's like the higher version of yourself has to do something to pull you out, because we've come to the end of the road, and there's no way up from the depths of that until we start to kind of open ourselves up to this faith and this positivity. And then that's when we can connect back to our true purpose, our true calling here, which you can kind of see this card calling out. So that is what I have for you. I think I am going to pull. I'll be so scared about these, about pulling additional cards sometimes because I be feeling like I wonder how the card is going to connect to the reading. But we're going to pull one. I feel like this is very spiritual, so I'm going to pull one from the Angel Guide Oracle for you guys to close this out, group 1. Overall though, positive energy. I see mature. I see you're really doing the work. You know, people say do the work. You're really doing the work, so you can see results are coming in, because you know you, and I think you know it too. You know that you're doing the work. You know that you can see the change. You can feel the change. It feels very open and free, coming out of that, you know, toxicity. You know, if you've been feeling that, for sure. And look, here we go. So friendship and union. And for some of you guys, if this is really connecting to friends, like if it's something that you went through with a friend, just know that you see these. Actually, what the cool thing about this is, this friend, this lover's card in this deck is called best friends, because it's for kids. So they focused it on friendship rather than love. But it's 2 different girls of 2 different races, and here we have 2 different angels of 2 different races. So it's like, this is like, you know, confirmation of this, that these things are coming into you. So if you've had to kind of release yourself from a friend or from a relationship or something like that, just know that, like here with this 3 of Wands, that this is coming right back in. Like now you're creating a space for those people to come in, and more people that are aligned with you, because you're opening yourself up to not trying to change a person to make them fit to be what you need for your life. You're letting them be, and you're just saying it doesn't work for me, and then you're opening the space for the next person. And if you use this, if this is for you guys, if you're dating and stuff like that, that's the best. That's a wonderful technique to use when you're dating, to not judge them and not to think instantly that because someone wasn't great to you that they're robbing you of finding that. This 3 of Wands is keeping that faith and keeping that optimism, despite running into people that, you know, that take advantage, you know, or that, you know, they try to overpower you, or whatever, you know, they're doing here. The 5 of Wands that bring a lot of chaos and trauma to your life. So we're gonna read this card, and then we'll be done with group 1. Let's see here. We got friendship. Let's see. I like that card. I like that. See, that was so funny. So that's just me taking the chance, like, you know. And then this card came out. It just matches the best friend card perfectly, okay? This is a time for coming together. Friendship and other connections are important now. There is a strengthening in your bonds with others and your capacity to know who your people are. You are surrounded by incredible, insightful, and encouraging people at this time, and it's important to enjoy the friendships and other connections you have. If you have felt disconnected or out of place for some time, which we're talking about being rolling in the deep, right? know that you're moving into a far more supportive. So you see these other ones usually in this card, these are other people supporting you. So I'll show it to you. Look at me, I'm always showing people from the traditional deck. I don't know, I have an addiction to doing that. It's so funny. But you see, this is how this looks in the traditional deck. So you see there are other people moving in your direction. So when people are going against the grain, when it's the 5 of wands, the 5 of swords, those are not your people, right? Because your people don't make you look back to see if they're still there. They're facing the same direction with the same common goal, right? So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. And know that you're moving into a far more supportive and joyful space now. Your angel guide is encouraging you to connect deeply with those you trust most. Ask yourself how you can bring the whole of yourself into your friendships and relationships. Be present, listen, open up, smile, laugh, venture forth, and enjoy this time. If you have felt left out recently or have been wondering if you can trust those around you, angels are giving you clear insight and information to help. Don't concern yourself about any relationships or friendships that may have been fading into the background here, okay? Kind of feel that. What's important is that your vibration and energy will attract friends with whom you can be yourself and who can mirror back to you who you are, which that is the best friends card, finding people, your tribe, your pack here. If there's something missing in a particular important friendship, know that your angel guide is inviting you to ask yourself, what is missing here? How can I supply it? If you feel that you're struggling to make friends and you don't know who your friends are, invite your angels to assist you in making connections with those who can share and receive in a loving, balanced way. Your angel friends are ready to help you form incredible unions. So just want to give a nod to the fact that this is an angel here, and you have the support on your side to be able to call in. Is this an angel here? I don't think this is not an angel on this card, yeah, but to help you to be able to call in those people who are going to be a good match for you, for sure. Angels are working on your behalf, so just know that that's going on, and you may start running into those people this week, or you may have someone that shows up in a way that was unexpected this week. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Please let me know down below if it resonates, group 1, and I will be back with another reading for you guys soon. Bye-bye. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move into group 2, group dos. Let's see here. All right, I want to keep these guys out. We're going to, if you pick group 2, you pick the Light Seers Tarot here. Let's see here what Seer has for you guys this week. I hope that you guys been having a great week. Happy Thanksgiving holiday if you guys are in the United States. Yeah, that keeps on that keeps on happening. I try my best to keep the legs out of the shot because my other little holder thing is acting crazy. So, but I keep bumping into the camera part anyway. So hold on, let's plug up my phone so it doesn't die on me, because I'm infamous for letting the phone die while I'm in the middle of a reading. So here we go. Let's get that plugged in. All right, so now let's get back to shuffling. I don't know if I was saying it earlier. We just moved out of Scorpio season into Sag season at the top of the week. So I know a lot of people are kind of feeling the motions of that. So we'll see if that's something that kind of comes up in the reading. Let's see. Let's get the deck for group 2. Let's see here. All right. So we're going to pull 3 cards, and then we're going to take a look at what card is on the bottom of the deck, which is going to be the indicator of the overarching energy that may be going on, that may extend beyond the point of a week. It could be something going on months. It can be like an ongoing lesson or something that's going on for years even. So don't just limit it to this week, the energy that's at the bottom of the deck. All right. So a lot of you guys here have the High Priestess here. So you're learning how to follow your gut, to follow your intuition. Maybe some of you guys are actually tarot readers. Maybe some of you guys are getting into things like tarot readings. You're getting into things like crystals. You're getting into things like astrology in group 2, because the high priestess is definitely someone who is tapping into their intuition, but they're doing it from a conscious level. So this is like, you may have like a practice that you may do. It may not even be something that you're really telling anybody about, because the high priestess is a little bit secretive. So it may be something that you're doing, like it could be even something like where you walk into a room and then you're like, I don't have a good feeling about this in my gut, and or your body is telling you that you don't have a good feeling about it, and maybe you're not telling the the people around you. Maybe you're just saying, hey, I'll come back later, or hey, I'll just come back on another day, or something like that. But there's definitely something guiding you. And if some of you, I feel like particularly with your body, if your body is telling you something about a certain person or a certain space. I actually just was talking about with someone about this the other night. I've kind of had I've kind of had intuition, but for my whole entire life. But I, up in the past couple of years, maybe 3 years, I started using things like tarot and things like that to help me strengthen it. Well, I always get gut feelings about things, but I started getting a very, very bad feeling when I was around someone that I would just never suspect that I would feel like that about. But I could feel, I was with one person, like it was like I was going back and forth between two of my friends' houses. And when I was with one friend, I felt like very light. It felt very good. It felt very free. And then when I went with the other friend, it felt very heavy. I felt sad. I felt drained instantly. I could tell the difference because it was so high vibrational with one friend and it was so low with the other one. And it wasn't that the person was doing anything in particular to make me feel that way. It just was a shift and I could feel it. So these things are not to be ignored. It's like a kid telling you, your inner child saying, hey, I don't feel safe. Hey, this is an uncomfortable situation. Hey, this is not right for me. So it could be your guidance system. So don't ignore those things. Everything, I'm looking at this with her eyes closed. Everything doesn't have to be seen with the eyes. And if you look at this particular card, you see how she has eyes that are outside of her eyelids, which I think is really, really cool for this deck and how they created this. So there could be a lot of things that are coming to you intuitively that you're feeling on maybe an emotional level or intuitive level. Maybe you're hearing things in readings and then we're kind of ignoring them. I just kind of feel like these are like when these are things coming to you, messages. You could be seeing numbers like 444. You can be hearing things in songs, seeing things on TV. You can be seeing certain animals. It doesn't stop. And the thing is, there's not a particular set of rules for anybody with their intuition. I feel like for some of you here, I'm talking about this and I'll just say it because I feel like if you keep on seeing numbers, maybe you're the type of person that goes to Google like everybody does, and they're like, what does 444 mean? Okay, I'm not discounting anything that you find in that space, but your guides and your intuition, they form their own coding with those things. So when a certain time on the clock happens, or when you see a certain number, when you think a certain thought, it can be very, very beneficial to keep track of what's going on at that time or what thoughts you're thinking, because that may be a completely different message than what you read. And I find that a lot of times those things 222 999 888, most of the time they're saying the same thing. They say the same thing. This means that your angels are with you. Positivity is coming forward. So it's going a little bit deeper than what other people are kind of telling you about. So that's another thing that I'm kind of getting from this. For some of you, it may be time for you to step into your own kind of thing like this. Like, for example, if you've been somebody that's been watching readings for a long time, I'm not saying that you can't watch readings. You may be feeling like a shift, a disconnect in getting your intuition, getting your thoughts, getting your steps from that. Then you may feel like you're not being fed anymore. And if I feel like if you're getting to that point, it's because it's time for you to start doing your own thing. Maybe you should start reading your own cards or learning about them, or you should start following your own intuition. So don't lean too much on everybody else's, even me or anyone. Don't lean too much on another person's intuition. It's good to take them in and to look at them, but this is also your own discernment for what is good for you and to not follow things like readings by Bible, or don't think of them like oh, this is set in stone of what's happening in the future, because what it does is it takes away your free will for your life, and it also severs your connection to your own intuition. It's not strengthening it because you're just watching videos. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I watch them as well, but we have to actively it's like a muscle. Just like you go to the gym or you work out, you have to actively strengthen that by using it and applying it with yourself, right? So it takes a certain level of trust, and maybe that's something that we're kind of working on. Trust. Yeah, look here, you got the you got the Page of Pentacles right here, which is definitely the student card. So yeah, this is where Spirit is like, it's time for you to learn your own. What is your magic? What is your gut telling you? Not what the next person's gut is, because it doesn't help you to develop your like a tarot reading might not be available for you to listen to know how to navigate a certain situation. What if it's a choice you need to make, and we become dependent on it? So it's saying become your own mystic, your own guide, right? You have the power to be able to do that when you're within yourself, and don't rely on everyone else. Because I kind of feel like here you have the Hanged Man, and I want to show you something here with the Hanged Man, because these two energies are they're kind of alike in a certain kind of way. I'm going to tell you that if you notice, you can kind of see the runes drawings here, and you see this person kind of suspended and they're touching it, and then you have these same runes up here. So both of these people are psychic, I would say, are intuitive, right? And here we have the Page, which the Page is a student, so we're learning about our intuition here. But the High Priestess knows it, right? She know that's at the core of her. Like it's all the answers. I have all the answers. I may not speak them, but I'm connected to all, right? The Hangman is a little different, because the Hangman is kind of more of an experience. So this is where I kind of like the feeling I was kind of getting, where whenever you're watching readings and things like that, or because I feel like it may be something more than reading. Maybe you're getting readings, or maybe you're watching readings, or maybe you're leaning on astrology too much. Not to say it's a bad thing, because we all go through things where we lean on something too much, but you can tell that you're doing it too much when you stop feeling it. Like, oh, okay, I'm not getting a reading that satisfies me, which, the next card that you have underneath that is the Devil card. So it's where we kind of have, like, we're looking for the fix, but we can't find it. That's kind of like, that's a sign or a signal to you to tell. But, and even the Hangman is a suspended state, is where we're having a pause, where nothing's coming to us, where you're kind of suspended like this. You're kind of in purgatory right now, where, okay, you're looking for these answers and they're not coming in. It's because we're relying really heavy on them to come in from other sources and from things that are not ourselves. And Spirit is wanting you to tap into this. Now, let me tell you what the Hangman really is originally. The Hangman is and I might mess this up. I really might mess this up. It's the Norse. I believe it's the Norse. Oh, look at this. It's so funny. This was the last card in the other deck. I picked up the whole deck, and this was the last one that was left. So he's right here. I was gonna look for him. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that. But you see how he's kind of hanging down, and this is Odin, and Odin had to he hung up down from a tree to allow himself to, what was it that Odin did? He suspended from the tree so he can gain knowledge of the runes, right? And if you know what runes are, they're these like I believe I want to say they're Norse symbols or Celtic symbols that you kind of read like this, like stones that you would read and be able to kind of put together the same way that you would do this. But in mythology, he did that to be able to gain that knowledge. So he was suspended, and that's when he came into his own understanding of that, whatever art that was. So it's kind of like the same thing, the same message that I was kind of saying here. If you've been wondering why you've been kind of like in this suspended state to where nothing's coming to you, you're not getting any new insight, you can't like it's almost like I can't get any satisfaction from the readings, or from, it's like you're listening to readings, you're like, next, that's not the one I want to hear, next, nothing's coming from that, next, that doesn't relate to me, next, that's not about me. This is why, because it's meant for you to to go into your own thing. And it's not to say that everybody is going to pick up a deck of tarot cards or our runes, our crystals, our astrology or anything like that. But this, you particularly in this group too, you guys are meant to have your own form. You're probably the same. You probably can read these cards just like me, but you have to try. Or not even so much. It has to be, like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be cards, but you're able to read things just like how I'm doing too. So it's time to put yourself out, like not saying put yourself out there like a business, but to find what things work for you. And yes, it may not come right away because it may not be cards for everybody and it may not be certain things for everybody, but it's the time that you spend to learn yourself enough to kind of see what that is, what thing is calling out to you, what things are you getting messages from. Because I kind of feel like when you have the high priestess, there's something going on around you. You're seeing something here while you're being suspended that you're probably not paying attention to, because we're not expecting it to come for, we're not expecting to interpret what it is for us. We're expecting someone to be the interpreter for us. So there's something going on around you. It may could be a symbolism, it may be a certain song, it may be a certain number, but something is going on there and it's trying to tell you something. And it may start off as one thing or one set of numbers or one song, but once you respond to it and you investigate, it's like that little kid that's pulling and saying, mommy, 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 look at this, look at this, look at this, and you're ignoring it. But when you look at what the kid is showing you, it actually wasn't just something that didn't matter. You're like, oh my God, thank you for showing me that. So that's kind of like the feeling that I'm getting here, even with the the page of Pentacles here, because it's like a very responsible kid. So the inner child here in this is like, it's really trying to get your attention. It's something important that's going on, or something important that you're missing in your environment that's not really just easily available to the eye. So it's like a little journey, like a mysterious journey. That's kind of what I'm feeling for you in group 2. I know that was kind of long. Y'all know I'm long-winded now. Okay. Let's put these cards back and let's see how this could be playing out in the week for you guys here. So put the High Priestess back up here. All right, let's see here. So you have this 6 of Pentacles here. So it could be something, and it could be something to do with something that is off balance here with the friendship or something like that, maybe with giving, or it could be some type of relationship. But this talks about how much we give and our generosity, and it could be something that it could be where I was just talking about this earlier today, where we're over functioning in a certain situation. And it's kind of like what I'm kind of getting here is, there's something so simple in your environment that's saying, if like something calls you to say, don't give, or like it's not a time to give. Maybe if you guys are like intuitive and those type of things, more than likely you're an empath, right? Which means that it comes easy to you or natural to you to be a giver. And I was just explaining to someone earlier that when we are an overgiver, is when we're selfless, it's equivalent to being selfish. And then one would ask, well, how can giving be the same thing as being selfish? Well, one is over functioning and one is under functioning. When you're selfish, you're under functioning. You're not giving as much as you're not giving as much as you take. But when we're over givers, or when we're empath, we're giving more than we're giving more than what we need to give, so that we can get a result. I was just talking about this with someone last night. We do that so we can keep a sense of peace, right? If I overgive, then it makes this person happy. Then I don't have to say this to them, or I don't have to deal with them being upset, or I don't have to deal with. It's like it can be a number of things on the other side of why we're doing it, but usually it's something that's below the surface, because those type of things come from conditioning, from what we grew up and we thought we had to do. Like for example, if you were used to always having to eat with here. A lot of you can be earth signs here, like Taurus, but what I was saying earlier is like, this is a responsible child. So if you grew up being a responsible child, this is kind of like the feeling that I'm kind of getting, is like where if you're the oldest sibling or something like that, or you just have to be responsible for a parent, or you have to look after yourself a lot, I just kind of get a feeling like it's just to it's like I don't want to say appeasing, but it's like let's just say, I'll make up an example, and it doesn't have to necessarily be your truth, but I'm just going to use this example. Like, you had a toy, and then your little brother wants to play with the toy, and then your mom is like, just give it to him and just let him play with it, but it takes the toy away from you, but it makes the baby not cry. So everyone's peaceful, and you go and find another toy, and then the younger kid has your toy, the one you really want to play with, but he's not whining, so it makes everything better, right? So that's conditioning that we take into our adult life, to where it's like, oh, let me just pacify this, oh, let me just give them that, and then we end up giving more and not leaving the space for other people to be able to give back. So what I'm kind of getting a feeling here of this, even here, because this is Pentacles here, so you're learning about giving. What do I invest in? Who do I invest in? And we're trying to learn balance with it here. You see this Page of Pentacles here, balancing. The intuitive things are coming here whenever you're giving. Like what I said, it could be gut instincts, like whenever you're about to do something for somebody, or whenever someone asks you for something and you really don't have it, and then you feel that feeling like, oh, I probably shouldn't have been giving, but it's like, I'm gonna go against this because I don't want to make them mad, or well, they really need it. It's like going against yourself in those situations. So that could be something that you're ignoring, and Spirit is trying to put you in a place to where you're equally given, you're being given back what it is that you put out. But I think what's going to happen is this. It's like a I almost feel like it's like a tricky, like these three, and then look here, I'm gonna say, so look, here's this person, like, give me this, give me this. They always have their hand out, right? They always have their hand out, expecting you to be able to give something to them. And I think that there's not really a way for you to there might not be like a way for you to, like when we're in the devil energy, we're kind of stuck in something. So here is where like the Spirit gives you like a pause, so where it either makes you kind of like, it makes it to where it's hard for you to give, or impossible for you to give, or you may be feeling like a loss or a lack, or like you're starting to, you can see this in other places in your life, like, my money's looking a little funny, because you're giving your energy to people and you're not getting anything back. And one may say, well, how does that relate? But it does, because your life is a mirror. It doesn't subjectify itself to just one area in your life. So here's this great pause here, and I always tell people this. It's like if you're a kid that goes off to college, right? Your parents send you with a credit card, and they say, well, you can buy, you use this card for emergencies only, right? And then your friend is like, well, I need money for this, and it's an emergency. And you're like, here you go. And I need this, and it's for an emergency. And you're like, here you go. So then your parents say, we're cutting off that card. You can't use that anymore. So this is kind of Spirit saying that to you. Like, we're cutting off something in your world to kind of make you go a little bit deeper into having better discernment about who you give to and why you're giving to them. What is the intention of you giving to them? So this could be something that you're kind of seeing here. And I get a feeling here that something is, you feel a way when you're either around the person, or you feel a way when you do for the person at in the same way. It's just something doesn't feel right about it. It doesn't have to have words here, and it doesn't have to be anything that they're doing, because it's not something particular that they're doing outside of the norm of what they've been doing. It's just a feeling that you're getting. And at one point you may not have gotten that feeling, and now it's like, I feel weird about doing this for this person now. Kind of like that feeling I was saying when I would go from one friend's house to the next. It didn't come like the person was doing something. I didn't have an expectation that I would start feeling that way. It just came out of nowhere, and I actually played with it a little bit. I was like, okay, let me try this again and see if it's me. So I did the same shift back and forth. Let me hang with this person, hang with this person. And it was so clear that it was so strong to me that I would be a fool to ignore it. It was so strong. It was like I felt like I would be like going against myself, like doing something awful to myself if I went against it, because it was so strong. So if you're getting these feelings about someone, definitely it's trying to tell you something, okay? There we got the Six of Pentacles right there. And then let's see here. What do we have next? So the Nine of Cups here. So what I'm kind of getting a feeling about here with this Nine of Cups, which is where you've taken very, very good care of yourself, right? And then because of that, you're starting to see the fruits of your labor, the fruits of your rewards. And if this is a person that you're scared to release yourself from, or you're scared to let go of, because we have this devil energy where we kind of can't see our way out of it. You see this guy kind of right here. once we start to follow our intuition, it's not that you may be in the absence of that particular person or that particular situation, or maybe not even that, just them. We need a boundary set here for yourself, and this is kind of the energy of what I was saying of not being selfless. This is where we learn a little bit, like empaths and narcissistic people have a very interesting relationship, because one is an overgiver and one is a taker, right? Is an overtaker. One is over loving and one under love. So there is something to be learned from both, and maybe you're not going to become the narcissist and the narcissist won't become the empath, but if they could fix the imbalance between the two, which twos talk about balance, sixes talk about balance. And look at this is where we're giving to each other. If we can learn to take a little bit of how people treat you, instead of, maybe there might be like a little bit of victimhood, right? Where, and not in a bad way, because of course, you feel taken advantage of it. That's really authentic and true. But this is spirit's way of saying, no, pause the game. We're giving you this intuition to know when to give and when not to give. And let me tell you how that's going to work. It's not like you can set a certain rule where you can say, okay, I'm going to always never give to this person. Nope, it doesn't work like that. You need to go inside every single time and say, what's best for me in this moment? Is it best for me to give right now? Am I giving out of my abundance, or am I giving at a deficit? Because if we don't have it in abundance to be able to give, then it's going to make us have a loss, which makes us have a lack. Then we're in lack and we're thinking about the lack, and then it brings about more lack. So this is to say, to fill your cup first. That's how you're a good host. A good host, like the Nine of Cups, is a good host, right? Let's just think of a good host. A good host isn't like going into the last of their things and giving the last of their things to other people. The good host has enough money to buy enough so that everyone can be able to have it, or to have enough so that everyone can be able to have out of abundance, like this treasure, not just from what would make them be in a deficit. Okay, so this is where we focus on, we prioritize what will make us happy for a little while here. So you can be kind of seeing that here, as you start to focus on your own happiness and on making yourself content, you'll start to see that you're meeting more people, and you're having more situations that are giving you more balance and bringing things out. Because with the Six of Pentacles, you're a very generous person. Some of you could be a Taurus here. This is what is this? Cancer. This is the mutable water sign. Who are you? You are you could be a come on, Christian, not Scorpio. Pisces here. This is a Pisces energy too. Or there could be like a Pisces or Taurus around you. We also had Taurus again. This is kind of Piscean, and this is a Capricorn energy. So this is where, like, Pisces kind of can get a little bit lost in other people's storyline a little bit, and they have a hard time kind of putting their footing down. And I'm not saying you're exactly a Pisces, but when you're in this space of where you're the mystic, you're the psychic, you float a lot, right? And you may lose a lot of not literally float, but your energy kind of floats and fluctuates, because you're tuning in to, even if you don't know it, you're tuning into everybody's energy. The empath, you have a lot of empathic cards here, and Pisces is an empathic sign. So it can be hard for you to set these rules and these boundaries in these very concrete ways, because it's kind of you're just floating around. So what I kind of get from this, what I'm gathering from this is, okay, yeah, even though you're kind of floating around, your intuition is still there to serve you to be able to make decisions. So you may not be as grounded as the earth signs are, as communicative as the air signs are, as passionate as the fire signs, but you're definitely intuitive. And that is the way that water signs, can move their way through things like this, by following their gut and trusting in their gut. And you don't need somebody else to tell you something is bad for you. You can feel that. And that's kind of like that Piscean feeling. Is kind of like where they want to latch on to someone else's opinion or to someone else's belief. And they have a lot of good things about them, and I'm not trying to make them like out to be bad, but this is one of the qualities that I'm kind of seeing coming up here, where it could be kind of hard to follow your own intuition and form your own opinions based on what you're feeling, especially if it's turned up. When you have the High Priestess and the Hangman together, it's like, okay, you see that things are halted because they're trying to show you something. So they're stopping. It's something being stopped, so you can see something with a better perspective or a different perspective when you have the hangman. That's why he's there. So something has been suspended or given a timeout. This could even be like a break from someone, or like just mysteriously, like the person that does this to you or take advantage of you, oh, they're out of town for 2 weeks, or you're off of work for the holidays, and you're like, okay, this job takes advantage of me. I really can see it now, because you've had a good time while you're away from that person, and then when you get back with them, here are these instinctual things where you're not feeling very great. So that's kind of what I'm getting from those two here. And then yeah, look at this. So perfect card to come in with not being able to see the way. And also tools, remember, are about this balance here. So whenever I get the Two of Swords to me is a lot about our process. So this is where Spirit is asking, how do you process information? How do you, with the Hangman, what are we doing with the information or the knowledge that we're gaining? What is going to be our course of action? You need everybody needs an internal GPS system. So with earth signs a lot, it's okay, does this make sense? Does this step make sense? Does this next, does it practical? What am I looking at? Is it in front of me? I don't see it. I don't believe it, right? Then fire signs are like, does this light me up? Does it make me passionate? Is this something that I can see myself doing? Air signs are like, does it make, does it make sense? Is this smart? Is this the next move? Does it have a plan? What's the strategy? They're analyzing it, right, with their mind, and they're communicating about it. They're speaking about it. Water signs have to kind of, your strongest thing is going to be your intuition. And I'm not saying that you necessarily have to be a water sign here, but for you, whoever I'm doing this reading for, you're empathic, and I'm just getting that your strongest thing is your intuition. And we need to use that when we're processing things. Use our intuition. Like when you're trying to figure out if a person is good or bad for you, go to your gut. If a food is good or bad for you, go to your gut. If a situation is good or bad for you, go to your gut and trust it. And sometimes, I'm gonna tell you the truth, when you're using this, sometimes it might not pan out the way you want it to be, but you're gonna learn, okay, well, oh, that doesn't mean that. Like what I was saying earlier with the numbers 444, maybe what 444 means to you, it doesn't mean the same thing to the next person, but you learn it when you practice it, when you like get your, you do it on your own, and you don't like let someone else tell you, right? Because what I may be reading for you, you may have a whole nother perspective. Like you may not even agree with this reading, right? It just depends. Like some people, that's why we always say, you always hear readers say, take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. Or, of course, this reading can't fit for every single person because it's not meant to. So this is where you're able to take things in and say, does this mean something for me? Instead of expecting it to feed you. And also just to say, I was just thinking about this today. Even me, as I listen to readers and things, there are certain readers that I started out listening to years ago that it just doesn't, it's not that they're bad readers or anything about them changed. It's just that my level of understanding changed a little bit. Like I'm kind of going through that right now, where it's only a few readers that can that I kind of can get things from, and I'm used to being able to connect with like some of my favorites, and they're still my favorites. I just don't really connect with their readings anymore. So this could kind of be something that you're kind of feeling, and when you do that, it's time for you to kind of lean more into your own intuition. It's where we're relying too much on someone else's, right? We're supposed to be, I feel like as readers, well, me and my practice, I'm not going to talk about everybody else, but I try to empower the people that I'm doing readings from and not leave them coming back to where I have to tell them the next steps. I have to tell you what's going on next. I have to tell you what's going on next. Even as I do readings for people personally, I try to avoid those people that keep on saying, okay, what's next, because that means that you're missing me bringing you back to the center and being empowered, which means that you're using it like a cheat code. You're not actually applying the things that you're getting. You're just using it to see if you hear something that you like, and then you'll apply the things you like, and you'll just dismiss the things that you don't. So if this is where you're getting, if those are the type of readers that you're listening to, no judgment to them at all. Make sure that that's right for you to be listening to that, because you don't want to have to use something outside of yourself to be able to get in touch with yourself. Let them be a tool, but not the full whammy to where you're dependent on them, which is that devil energy, where it's like it's a dependency on something. All right. So So we're going to pull a card from the Angel Guide Oracle here. And we have vulnerability and freedom. And I kind of feel like this is kind of bringing you away from these situations where people overly take. And I feel like even with this vulnerability, there's a sensitivity that comes into and when you're here, when we're too much in our head, when we're not focusing on what's going inside, when we're too blocked off, then we run into people, we meet people that are blocked off, we meet things that kind of keep us kind of stuck in down in this lower vibration. The devil is a very, very trapped energy, like it's where we feel constricted. Here we have this freedom coming in. So let's read about that for you guys. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I have the sniffles today. It's kind of cold outside. Angels are now are with you now to boost your confidence, but because they can see some of the harsh experiences you have endured. You have endured some of the experiences you have. They can see how harsh some of the experiences you have endured have been. They want you to know that vulnerability gives you the chance to find a strength that will bring freedom. So move into freedom. Your angel guides encouraging you to take some time today to connect with parts of yourself that you love and admire. And I kind of feel like this is to connect with your intuition, because that's at the ultimate, for me, ultimately, that's your inner child just nudging at you, pulling at you. It just needs attention so it can be listened to. Okay. Know that your sensitivity is not a curse, but a gift, right? You're emotionally connected soul. And although recent waves of emotions may have overwhelmed you, those emotions are great reminders of how much you care about living truthfully and in a positive way. So take some time now to value traits and quirks that make you the unique person that you are. That will allow the world to value them too. So once again, when you are in your light, people are valuing you in your light. But also too, I just want to point out that this person is like touching up to the stars. I still just kind of feel like this connection that I'm saying to your intuition in that kind of way. Also too, I'm kind of, this is it. This is another thing that I'm getting. Like, you have this card here, the High Priestess, which is this card of being secretive. And I kind of have a feeling that maybe some of you guys are scared to, because I was getting that with the devil energy and the High Priestess together. Maybe you're scared to delve into cards. Like, you're like, I'll let someone else read. And I secretly go on YouTube, but I'm not going to ever do them myself. The reason why you have an affinity for this kind of stuff, or the reason why you're into this stuff, is because it's meant to be a gateway for you to want to, to find your own thing, even if it's not this. Like, I remember seeing I can remember exactly when I ever saw my first deck of tarot cards. I remember exactly when I got my first one. I remember exactly when I saw a deck, and I remember exactly what I thought, and I was a kid. So if you've been drawn to this kind of stuff, and it's like, you don't think that it's going to be accepted by everyone else, you don't have to be on YouTube. This can just be something that you do privately with yourself. But it's not about how you do it. It's just about giving yourself honoring that part of yourself that needs this kind of expression. It's inviting you in. Something is inviting you in. Like the High Priestess is they call it like a rite of passage. This is us stepping over to the other side, but it's going to take that first step. So everything is halted until you make you might not be feeling really connected spiritually. You can see here with the Two of Swords, you can't really see the way forward because we're listening to everybody else, like these birds here. We're listening to everyone else, and we're kind of ignoring our own judgment, our own intuition and internal system that's trying to guide us towards freedom out of the devil energy of whoever these people are that take and don't give back, especially if it's been hard for you to leave a situation like that. So it isn't always easy to put yourself out there, but you're being encouraged to do so now. Drop the shields and barriers that you have put up, because these walls are preventing the world from seeing your light. Your angel guide, and look at this light here. Your angel guide is reminding you that you don't need to protect yourself, because God can do that for you. Whenever you feel vulnerable, unsafe, old habits and patterns will want to kick in. But call in the light of God and surrender your need to protect yourself. When you give angels the permission to come in and help you, they will guide you towards freedom, joy, and your highest good. So this is kind of like what I'm feeling like here when you're getting these messages or intuitive. You may be really close to your to your angels, to your angel guides, to spirit guides, right? Or you may be someone who encounters angels or sees angels and things like that. This is what I want to say to you. You don't have to, tarot is a very expansive system to where you have to kind of learn each card and learn the energy and things like that. And some people just don't have the time for that, right? But let me tell you, it's a couple of things that can happen. Like, for example, if you like these cards, look, for example, let's talk about the high priestess. So we'll look at the high priestess. Let's just say you pulled the high priestess on a random day. Now you've heard my interpretation of the high priestess, but we'll read to you, group 2, what the high priestess says. Dreams, powerful visions, psychic insight, serendipity, meditation, introspection, intuition, a spiritual experience, okay? It says the priestess sits on the edge of the realm in the next, and she draws down meaning and illumination from beyond the veil. Sacred insight and profound wisdom are flowing to you now, and to access them, you must tune into your intuition and submerge your thoughts in her subconscious realm. The language of the unconscious mind is revealing itself to you now through metaphors and dreams and ancient memories that resurface to be processed. Pay attention to synchronicities, any nagging feelings of being off track, as well as gut feelings that move you in a new direction at this time. The divine whispers that are emanating from your soul hold an important message for you, and the bridge between the enigmatic realm of the priestess and your conscious understanding of the science will be found through your quiet introspections. And it says, I have the answers I seek, and by following truth, I will find them. So you don't have to have a knowledge of this. You can just pull this card and then just go and read what it says. And they even have, for you particularly, they have decks that are like the one that we just used, which are angel oracle cards. So you pull these out, and then, you know, here you go, you have a card that says vulnerability and freedom, and then you just saw me read that out. So if you want to take baby steps to get yourself into, you know, your spirituality, you don't have to get something as deep as the tarot. These cards have just different words on them: vulnerability and freedom. You have what, like, I'll just pull another one here, like romance and connection. You know, of course, you can inner child healing. These are things that we can go look, which actually, to be honest with you, these cards kind of go with what we're talking about. We're talking about this inner child part right here, and then these connections. So it could be something romantic, but see, you just kind of interpret these on your own, or you can read them. You don't have to just like delve in and become the tarot reader. You don't have to do that. It's not asking you to do that, but it is requiring you to go a little bit deeper. You know, like even when I know when I'm feeling that feeling for myself, like, okay, it's time to go a little bit deeper. It's time to learn something more. I'm kind of getting too relaxed, you know, with the way that I'm reading, you know, and it's time for me to go back over the cards again, maybe find new meanings, you know, or start to journal more. Like, just listen to the urge that they have for you to do those things. So I know that was kind of long, group 2. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading, and hope that you guys have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if it resonates down below. I would love to know what your take on this is, because I felt like that was a very powerful reading, and I haven't that was very specific. So I really want to know who out there is intuitive. Okay, so here we go. Look, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's I just got a little message on my phone from an app. It says it's time to try something new. Your first tarot psychic, or astrology reading. Now the app kind of makes you pay for those things, but I'm just saying that I don't want you to take in that part. Just take in the fact that it says it's time to try something new. Get your first tarot psychic or astrology reading done. So that message came through on my phone from the app, even though they're trying to get you to buy something, as I'm doing this reading for you. So see, those are examples of how a synchronicity can come in. You know, those type of things are happening in your life. Don't ignore those things, okay? So that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Now we're gonna go into group 3, and if you in group 3, you have picked the Hanson Roberts Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks here, one of my oldest decks as well. We're gonna go ahead and shuffle a few times, and then we'll get into your reading. So the other 2 readings so far have been super powerful, so hopefully you guys get the same energy going through yours. Let's see. I'm gonna pull 3 cards, of course. I don't read the reversals unless I feel like I need to. So don't chop my head off. But let's see here. We're gonna pull 3 cards. We got 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to take a look at the card at the bottom of the deck, which is the overarching theme of energy at this time. Now, keep in mind that that could, go outside of the range of just a week. This can be something that's ongoing, like a lesson that we're learning on a bigger level. And at the bottom of the deck, we have 3 of Cups. So you're learning a lot in group 3 about who your support is, what it means to be supported, who your tribe is, who your friends are, who they're not, what it looks like, what friendship looks like. You could be kind of, let's see what this is, thinking of, you could be making new friends here with Ace of Pentacles here, definitely after maybe losing some friends here. I kind of got that. Yeah, you have the Death card here, you have 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords, the Death card, maybe the 6 of Cups. It can be friends that that we've had for a very, very long time, so we can kind of be facing maybe like, oh my God, the friends that I thought were gonna be here with me are not here anymore, right? So kind of getting that kind of feeling here, or maybe the support that you thought you were going to have may have ended, and it could have been something long and ongoing. When you have the 6 of Cups right here, and the Death card and the 10 of Swords, and I kind of feel like maybe, for some of you, that situation is it could have ended kind of ugly in a way, or this could be someone hearing things, you're hearing things that people are saying, or you're finally hearing something that someone is saying about you. It could be behind a new opportunity as well, like and I'm making it specific. I just read how I read, but usually I try not to get too specific, because I know there's a lot of people watching this. But for some of you, it can be maybe we're hearing things that people that we think are our friends are saying about us as we gain new things. Like there could have been something that came along here, like you got a new job, a new promotion, something new in your life here, and then maybe you're kind of, what I'm getting the feeling of just a little bit, that some of you guys can be kind of a little bit not, it's almost like you maybe hide how happy you are, or excited you are about things that come into your life, because you don't want to hurt, you don't want to make your friends feel bad because they're not in the same place or something like that. And I just want to say that if anyone is making you feel that way, we have to start to question if that's really a friend or not to begin with, because friends wouldn't make you feel bad about success, right? We're all here to support each other. So this could be something that you're really looking towards at this time, and you're really looking to make new friendships. And I feel like for some of you, this is like cutting your losses here with the 10 of Swords. You're like, I feel backstabbed, and it's really letting me down. But I also feel that there's a sense of positivity here, especially if because I'm kind of getting a couple of things. Like with the 6 of Cups here, it could be that you have deep in your core, what true friendship feels like and looks like. So you're kind of keeping your mind fixated on that. Or there's another thing here. It could be, well, it's 3 situations. It can be with the Death card and the 6 of Cups, that a long time friend we're having to release ourselves from, or let ourselves go from. Or it could be that there's been some type of friendship. A friendship has kind of been dwindling, its energy drowning down, like it's been kind of dying away here. And the 6 of Cups sometimes for me can be like rose-colored glasses. And it may be keeping us away from, finding new friends, finding new people in our lives that can uplift us. So let's see what next. Yeah, we have the next cards here. So if that's you, that's in that situation, we definitely have the 2 of Swords here, where we kind of don't know how to move, or we could be ignoring the things that are right in front of us, which I'm kind of getting with the 10 of the Death card, 10 of Swords, 6 of Cups. We kind of can be seeing something dying away, and we're ignoring it here, and it's keeping us from moving towards the people that really support us and that really uplift us here with the 6 of Rods here. So it's keeping us back. Something is keeping us back. It's like something wants to be done here. You have the World card here, and it's very, very hard for you with the Strength card to move towards it. But look at all the support that you get once you let go of the people that don't support you. And I think that it's very obvious. Like it's not anything here that I feel like is it's not like shouting. It's not like shouting at you. And it may not even be that you know what, there's also another thing here. You know how sometimes we leave friendships because maybe the person has done something wrong, or maybe they have done something mean. And for some of you it could be that that's happened, because I did kind of get a feeling of that here. But I also feel like for some of you it may not even be that that there's just necessarily anything bad that happens. It's just that as you grow, as you change your vibration, as you start to gain more in your life, your level of things that are important to you, the things that are important to you start to shift and start to change. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to judge what things are important to your friends and that they have to be on the same page. And I'm kind of feeling like, remember earlier I was saying maybe it's because my friends don't have the same things as me. I kind of feel like this is kind of like a little, like here, as we're getting towards these back cards, 1, 2, where's the strength card? Didn't I see the strength card? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is somebody who are here with these 5 cards where you've worked really, 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 really hard to get where you are. And it's almost like they're like on, like, let's just say there's this big fence. On the other side of the big fence are all the people that come in to support where you are in life now, but there has to be the decision made to leave from people that maybe have been around you for a very long time. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that they're doing anything wrong to you. It just may be that you're just not, you guys just don't vibrate with each other anymore. Not because they're not good, because you need a different level of support for where you're going. So for example, like I'm not trying to like, no judgment, so let's just get it like this. Let's just say that you have friends that they don't mind having an ordinary, I'm not going to say ordinary life. Let me rephrase that. But they don't mind this, they don't mind like life being like even where I'm from, like where I'm from Channelview, this city very close, well, it's basically Houston, but in Texas. But there are some people that never leave that city. And at first it used to be like a judgment, like, you guys don't want to leave, like, you know. But as you get older, you start to say, you know what, it's not meant for some people to leave. It's not, your journey is not meant to be everyone's journey. Now, here's the thing. If I had a friend that still lived there and I was someone who wanted to travel the world, it's not that they can't travel with me, but also too, I can't not, go to the places that I want to go or do the things that I want to see just because that person is choosing to let that be their life. So what do you do in that situation? Because you don't want to just not be their friend. You can still love somebody, but also too, you have to honor where you are in the stage and phases in your life. And part of that is honoring what supports you. So if you're trying to be a business owner and you're trying to make connections so that you can make your business rise, well, if your friends aren't business owners and things like that, not saying they have to do the same thing that you're doing, and not saying that you don't even have to be their friends anymore. How are we going to get our business out there if we don't have people here that are business owners? So it's not to necessarily say that you have to get rid of anyone or anything like that, but this is something that's kind of been called to the surface. Like, it's time to take a look at those things. Like, do you have the people around you that can support you where you are now, not for in the past? Because this can be where, yeah, I'm in these friendships, I have all these people around me, but I don't feel supported for where I'm going. And this is what's kind of been challenged here. Are you going to take the necessary steps, to be able to change that? Because right here with the Two of Swords, we're not making a decision. We're kind of just sitting. We're kind of sitting with the problem, which means if you're listening to readings and things, you probably already realize that. We just probably just haven't acted on it. So let's see a little bit about how this might play out here. So you have the Knight of Rods here. So the Knight of Rods wants us to take action, right? Wants to take action, and wants to get the ball rolling. So here, I kind of feel like this. There is, I said particularly that it could be something like business wise or something like that. I don't know why I'm getting that kind of feeling. Like you may be a business owner, you may have a project or something like that, but there's a very like I just feel like a business person, like someone who has a business, someone who's wanting to make connections with the business that you have, or to find people who can help you grow in areas. Like, it's almost like I want to be around people I can learn from. I want to be around people that I can go on adventures with. So if we're talking about travel, the Knight of Rods here, I'm kind of feeling it like inspired. You're wanting to be around people who are inspired, and maybe you, like how I was talking about support, maybe that, you know, some friends are good to go out with, but also too, that's only going to cover one part. If it's just like the day parties and the club and, you know, let's go drinking. If where you're going in your life, you need people that inspire you, it's okay to say that, and it's okay to admit it, and it's okay to not, you don't have to throw everybody away, but also too, you can set the intention to bring in more people like that in your life, because you're wanting people to come in that are passionate, that are fiery, that are ready to go. So this could also be too where you encounter people that have limitations. Like if you're the single friend, right, and they're married, if you're the single friend and they have kids and things like that, where it's a little bit more easy for you to go, or it could even be financially free. You're more financially free or in a place to get up and go than the other people around you. And maybe there's this thing of like, okay, but these are my friends and we've been friends for so long. Yeah, they can still be your friends, but you have to make the opening for a new possibility. Maybe they can be your friends and you can have other friends too that can support where you're going. But there's no way. Don't keep on denying yourself of what you need, because you know that's denying your needs. It's like self-deprivation. So we have to really kind of take a look at that. And he's looking right at that friend, the friend group right now. He's wanting to take action on that. So if you're feeling inspired to move in a different direction, honor what you feel and create the space and the openness to be able to make those decisions, because you're ready to go. You're ready to do something different. And I kind of have a feeling like there's an adventure that you're supposed to be on, that you're really, really fired up about. And then here is the obstacle in front of it that's keeping you from making the connections you need to make, or finding the customers you need. Or maybe if it's something like a job, maybe these are people who are in high places where it's like, oh, I need a job like this. And they're like, oh, well, I need a person that works like this. And then it's you. Or if you're looking for a relationship, it's like you're looking for the people who, let's just say they're all single and you're single. They're not looking for relationships. You are. These are finding friends that may be in relationships, or that are looking for, like, finding people who are moving in the same direction as you. Once again, with the Six of Cups, because you're all looking forward towards the same thing. I'm sorry, the Six of Wands. You're all looking forward towards the same thing. And they're able to guide you towards, you know, these things, these new opportunities. You have the Fool here, especially if you've learned all you need to learn with the people around you. That's what the World card is about. It's like, I've graduated. So it's kind of funny that I use the example of my town where I grew up in high school, because it's like me and one of my other friends used to say, it's like they never graduated. Like they never graduated. This is where you have, and maybe other people haven't. It's no judgment on it. It's not to have any judgment. It's just to honor what your needs are at this point in time. So we got that there, the Knight of Rods. I probably put these cards in a horrible order, but whatever the case. So we have the Knight of Rods here. Nextly, we have we have the Page of Rods here. So I love the Page of Rods in this particular deck, because he calls out. So it's saying here, like, you're like, hey, where are my people at? I need my people. So here, I love this energy of that. But also your inner child when we get pages in the deck, to me, they're our inner child. So there's a part of yourself that is wanting fun, you want excitement, you want passion, and maybe, and I keep on trying to say it in a non-judgmental way, because I don't want you to judge the situation. Some people just aren't on that wave. They're not on the path that you're on, and it's not to judge where they are, but once again, it's the same thing that I'm seeing here. Both of these are kind of fired up, excited about life. Maybe you're excited about the direction of your life, right? You're just excited about what's going to come next, what's going to be the next adventure, who will I become, but I feel like maybe the Page here, you have the Page and the Knight. I can tell you specifically, I would put these right here. I don't read these in any order anyway, like that specifically, but I'll tell you, the Page is a kid, right? Adolescent. The Knight is a teenager. So you have this maturity that's happening here, and maybe you've matured from your surroundings or your environment, and you're needing this. Like, I feel like Spirit is kind of saying to you that, hey, you need people for where you're going. You're going to need a strong support system to be able to be behind you. So we need to start setting the intentions to bring those people in, because if we're so fixated by ego, which is where is he at? if our ego is telling us, no, you have to stay here, you have to be friends with these people here, then we're never going to, get the people around us that we need to make the connections to support where we're going. So this is where you're taking a look at your ego, and you're having to just think about a kid where when you're moving, just think like if a child was moving, they're going to say, but I'm not going to have any friends. What am I going to do? I'm going to a new school. And they're like 9 years old. And you're like, of course you're going to make friends. We'll go back and visit your old friends from time to time. But you as a parent would know, of course you're going to make more friends. It's not, they're like, it's the end of the world, I'll never have friends again. And as a parent, that's not true. So that part of ourselves that's telling us that it's time that we calm that part of ourselves down, because it's keeping us where we are. And also too, is like status. Like my dad used to say this about people. He was like, he said, you ever notice, my dad's so funny, he's a Leo. But he's like, you ever notice how, like, the star athlete sometimes just stays at home, and the popular person stays at home, and they're always at all the, everything that goes on at their hometown. I'm not saying that that's wrong or anything like that. But it's because he explained it to me. He was like, it's because they're so ingrained into who they were that it's hard for them to become a new person, because they're still kind of holding on to who they were. So this is kind of like a sense of that. We may be holding on to an old, and we're not respecting the maturity that we've gained. It's almost like when I say that, it makes me think of when like kids stop wanting cars and Barbies, and they start wanting like cool things like tennis shoes and Nintendos and things like that. This is where the parent, you probably as a parent to yourself, you're still getting dolls and cars, and it's like, no, we've matured to something else. And I think that that you'll probably start noticing that it's time to take a look at your maturity, and to see if your surroundings match who you are now, not who you were, because that six of cups here is where we're still, we're still thinking about our childhood. We're still thinking about our memories. We have rose-colored glasses about our our life, so this is where we take those off and we start to say, you know what, I've kind of outgrown that. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, but let's just move in a different direction. So you have that there. And then the next thing we have here is the 5 of Cups. So rightfully so, as you have to move away from people, you're thinking, and look, I always like to show this. You have the 3 of Cups right here. What do we have on the ground right here? The 3 of Cups, right? So it's a lot of, I'm going to be without my friends, or I'm going to disappoint them, or I'm going to have to, when I get the 5 of Cups, sometimes it's like where we know we're going to have to go through some type of loss. So we prolong the process because we don't want to feel what it's like to not have. And yeah, I'm not going to be the reader to say, oh, it's just going to be positive. Yeah, you are going to have an experience to where maybe even if you distance yourself and not to be their friends, where some of the things that you were into, or that you like doing, you may not, be doing those things anymore to make space for new things. But that's the thing. When you're in these energies right here, they don't mind that. They're not thinking about what they lost. Both of these are like fire sign, very passionate energy. You guys could be fire signs, but or something like that. But here, when we have you have the 6 of Wands, you have the 6 of Wands, you have the, I'm just gonna put out all of the cards that I feel like are very out of the ones that you got that are very, let's do it, let's get there, let's get it done. These cards all right here, 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, are all like, what's next? The next adventure. You have fiery cards here. When you have those cards, and I'm just putting strength here because it represents Leo, but the 6 of Wands, the Knight, which also the 6 of Wands is like I said, graduation. You've graduated. You've become a bigger kid. You're a bigger inner child, right? Now we have different goals, different dreams. We want different toys now. Which is denoted by also this World card, which the World card is the ending of a cycle and the beginning of something new, which the Ace of Pentacles is something new. The Fool is something new. But the World card right here, so it's like a nod to the World card. So we've come to completion. And also too, I want to say that people are going to notice you. Like when you have the World card here, people are going to notice you really, really quickly. So for whatever things that you're losing, those things that you're going to have people to come in that are going to replace, like if it's certain activities or if it's certain things, people are going to come in and replace those with new things. These cards are saying to look at the future with excitement. Don't think about what you'll lose, because there's definitely something to be gained here because you deserved it and you worked for it. Here you you have the Six of Rods, you've worked for what's coming on the other side. But if you don't create the space for it to come, it never will. So here, when you have these 3 cups down, you look at the back, you have these 2 cups, and the 2 of Cups talks about equal give and take, equal partnership, people who aren't, and I don't want to say on your level like they're not, but they supported one level of your life, or whatever this thing is, supported one level of your life. It's like when you wear a certain size of shoes, it's like your feet get bigger when you're younger. You know, you don't cry because the old shoes don't fit. You just it's time to start looking at a different size. You just can't fit them anymore. It's nobody's fault. You don't have to find a fault. And even when they try to find fault, or if other people try to find fault, you just don't give that any energy, because you know it's not like that. So I kind of see that with the Strength card here. You're not like, you know, fighting back or letting your ego get the best of you, because that's the level of understanding that they may have, right? So here with the 5 of Cups, there's definitely something more coming to you here, but we may not be focused on that right now. So try your best to get the ego to not think about what is going to be lost. Don't think about what you're going to lose. You have done enough to be able to gain new things, and there's nothing to lose here. The Fool is, when we have the Fool card, it's like there's nothing, there's nothing to lose. There's not a good or a bad. It's just an experience. And all of these Fire cards are definitely just down for the adventure. And I think that whenever Spirit is kind of giving you the message that just to be down for the ride, it would never do that to you without it being something that's going to help you, or something that's going to be more filling or a better fit than it was before. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I'm going to pull a let me shuffle these cards first. I'm going to pull an Angel Guide card here. And let's see, shuffle one more time. All right, let's see. Ooh, you wanted a lot of cards popped out. We're gonna try it again. Let's see. What is it? Okay, Angelic Protection wanted to come out 2 times, and I kind of feel like they can kind of be talking, like if you feel like people are going to retaliate against you, I'm not going to take it, because it kept falling out. But don't worry about that. You're covered. And even with this, even with Angelic Protection, I kind of feel like for like I was just telling you, you can't go wrong. Like you've been doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. There's nothing bad that can come from this. It's like a free shot. Like it's like nothing bad can happen. So are you going to just stay, or are you going to take the free chance to see change? Because with all of these cards right here, I don't think that you really care about what it is. It's just that you want to live a passionate life, and you have to be able to let go of things that aren't that don't make you feel passionate, to be able to look the yes that don't feel passionate, to be able to gain these new things. So it's saying yes to life, saying yes to moving forward, saying yes to new things, not saying no. And then it's kind of keeping us here, and then we're not excited about life. So this is like are you down for the function? Yes. Are you down to do this? Yes. We need to be more like that about life. And I don't think that card has anything in the book. That's funny. I think that card just says yes, 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 if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to take a look, because I read every card for everyone else. And if it just says yes, we'll get another card. I can't remember. Okay. No, it has something. I've never read this card before, so it's funny. Yes, yes, yes. The answer is yes. Proceed, go forth, achieve, enjoy. Don't hold back. The time is now. Rise up, fly high, light up, express yourself, experience, share. This card is a huge thumbs up. If you're making a decision, the answer is yes. Go for it. This is a time for positivity, celebration, and progress. Angels are encouraging you to let in the light and enjoy it. All of your hard work is paying off. So this is just what I just said. Any endeavors, projects, and opportunities before you now are getting the green light. If you've been holding off for the right time, the time is now, and you've been encouraged to take the next step. You're good to go. If you're feeling scared or worried, that's okay. Invite in help. Angels are there to guide you, and they want to be a part of your success. So relax and experience the joy that is unfolding for you now. And let me just say, going back to what I said over here, don't let anybody hold you back from being excited about the work that you have done. I'm not even saying that they could have done their work too. It's not even about them. This is your moment. It's your, like Leo here, it's your time to shine. So open your hands to the universe and take whatever this opportunity is, because it's something something more for you. And it's even here. Don't let this little thinking of what's going to be lost. If people are really your friends, if these are really your support team, when they see you doing something good, they're going to be on board. That's how you can tell. And if they're not, well, then you can make the space for new people. So don't hold off that just so you don't have to face that may be the reality, because it doesn't serve you any purpose to keep prolonging that just to find out what you already know anyway. So that is the reading that I have for you guys for group 3. I hope that you guys enjoyed this message, and thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know if it resonates down below, and I'll be back for another reading with you guys soon. Bye-bye.